You're building this cage that she's fighting her best to break out of, and she will. And God help you, you didn't just create a monster. This is one thing people do, parents do especially. It literally results in the exact opposite. No matter how much you restrict a person from doing what they actually want to do, especially what is going to eventually happen either ways, you're only making them crave that one thing more. Keeping your daughters away from actually having interactions, healthy interactions with the opposite gender. Keeping your sons away from having healthy interactions with the opposite gender would only make him crave them more. Let's even talk about the downsides. He won't be able to communicate properly with these people because he's going to probably feel there's this pedestal put around them which you, the parent, created. So now he sees women as some high and mighty creature, and she sees men as some, she's like some evil beings, because most of the time they are telling you as a girl they're hiding you from men. Basically they're restricting you from meeting men. It's either on the basis of he will hurt you or he would take advantage of you, which is the same thing. But in our situation, it's going to be them keeping themselves away from hoes, basically, not getting into that black void, just sleeping around women. That's exactly what parents are trying to accomplish when they restrict their kids, whether male or female. And to be honest, it's a fair try. I understand the parents' point of view, but what they don't understand they are doing to that kid is they're only making this kid want to meet the opposite gender more. Anything you put so much restriction to, and you see that this person really is going to eventually break out, and when you're not there, is going to still have to face that particular thing. I don't see why you should be blocking them from that stuff. You should let them explore and come back to you for feedback. If they run into this one guy, had this nice conversation and that's where you come in. If something bad happens, that's where you come in. In those situations, experience is the best teacher. And I'm not saying let them go outside and sleep with people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying men and women are meant to coexist. Now, let me give you guys a story. When I was in high school, this was somewhere around GS2. I don't know what it's called in the Western world, but this was my second year in secondary school. I got a phone pretty late in life compared to like most kids in my class. I got a phone just as I was getting into the university. I got my first phone, my first smartphone. Wait, am I even talking about smartphone? I got my first phone, a button phone, before I got my smartphone. So it was like the first button phone I got was like in freaking university. You what? And what was the reason for this? Second year in secondary school, GS2. I was very addicted to playing games. Clash Royale. I've spoken about this somewhere in one of the videos on this channel. But I was freaking addicted to playing games on my mom's phone. So my dad saw every time this guy is playing game, my mom is trying to get her phone from me and And every time in the house, my sister is always with my mom's phone, talking to her friends and stuff like that. But anytime I pick up the phone, because I'm playing games, it's just a problem. My sister is doing what she wants to do. She's doing what gives her the most joy, talking to her friends through some Snapchat and back then she was young, so she was, kind of not meant to be on those applications. So, of course. But in my case, there was a problem. They didn't want me to play these games. Yeah, maybe I was staying awake too long, or, even if I'm just using the phone to just play, it's normal, like during the day. Once they see me, they take away the phone and stuff. This made me want a phone so bad. So I'll go on my laptop, I'll download. You guys have heard of BlueStacks. It's like an Android emulator. So I'll get this Android emulator and I'll play the games. If I can't play on my laptop, I'll get my mom's phone. Very, very, the more they held back these devices for me, the more attention, the more energy I threw towards getting hold of these devices. So this is what happens now. When they go out, and let's say my mom leaves her phone behind, or my PS4 is somewhere laying around, I will literally go there, take it out, use it while they are not around. Let's say I plan that, today I'm not going to play this game. I don't want to play this game at all. I want to study, I want to do something else. The moment they step out of the house, because I know I won't get as much freedom as I will usually when they are around, because I can't use the phone, I would want to take advantage of that moment because they are not in the house. So I'll pull up the PS4, load up Fortnite, start playing Fortnite. Think about your life. Even if I don't want to play Fortnite, I will still make sure I play Fortnite because that's the time I have the most fun. No restrictions, nothing. You get? And it was becoming very, 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 very bad. Aww. There's one thing for you to like a game so much, and there's another thing. Because of how restricted you are to the access of this game, you can't control not playing this game when no one is watching. When no one is watching, you can't see, you have no control. Meaning, if my parents, God forbid, what am I saying God forbid for? When my parents are not here, I'll literally have zero control over this. So every single time I encounter a PS4 and no one is around, I'm going to waste my time and play games.
Are you not embarrassed?
Which is exactly how I was. I paid for it in high school badly. It was also my second year in university. I started playing Fortnite Battle Royale, best game in the world. Then I was going to school and I was attending classes and all, but I wasn't coming back to the extra work I needed to do to understand fully. Because Fortnite, man, everyone is online and our time zones were conflicting. I think my guy was in Ireland, I was in Nigeria. I'll be on right off the bat playing games. I did this because no one was there watching me. It was just me on my own. I enjoyed the semester, I enjoyed the gaming, but the results, my dad didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the results, of course.
Think about your life.
It's my result. Yeah, it didn't hurt me so much back then. But now when I look at it, I'm like, why did that happen though? They never allowed me stay with this device and learn to use the device, learn to grow, build discipline and say, oh, I'm not touching this device because I have assignments to do. When I'm done with the assignments, I can touch this device. They never gave me the opportunity to sit down by myself and actually willingly decide not to do something. If I had a phone earlier, or if when I was with my mom's phone, it wasn't a case of I had to always sneak and get the phone and use it quickly. It was a case of the phone is just lying there. I pick up the phone anytime, use it anytime. Because of how free I am with the phone, with time, I'll not only get tired of using the phone, I'll build what we call discipline. I'll be very disciplined with my use of that device. Because after realizing, oh, this shit is just not fun anymore, I'll now have priorities. I'll now understand, oh, this is just something you use to pass away time. This is just fun. Like the actual stuff that should be done. And I'll know how to control and manage my time. But I was never given the opportunity to. So I had to learn it when people my age are already, well disciplined and know when to drop a phone, know when to focus on their studies, know when to go out. You get me? I was just indoors playing games every time I had. Look at my brother. My brother got a phone in GS2 or 3. That was like his second year in secondary school. Totally different guy. Every time I look at him, I'm so proud of him. My brother will drop his phone, go and study.
Oh my God!
He will not touch it till he's done.
Wow!
I couldn't boast of that back in secondary. I could not. What am I saying? I couldn't boast of that in university.
Jesus!
I'm at home. I don't play Fortnite. What? I don't play Fortnite when everyone is online, getting some kills. And I was very bad at the game, mind you. But I loved playing with them. There is no way. But you see my brother, because he's been given that, now he's almost done with secondary school. But he's very disciplined. He will never go through what I went through when it comes to, self-control, discipline. No. He was given the opportunity. Same thing with my little sister. Of course, I'm not saying give them phones at a very early age. But this exposure matters because at the end of the day, you're going to get exposed to it regardless. So why delay learning how to control it? That's my one problem. Have you ever noticed that the pastor's child, right, is always the worst, does the most horrendous of things? Why do you think so? This is because they have the most restrictions. Their father tries his best to hold her down. Don't talk to guys, And trust me, you're building this cage that she's fighting her best to break out of. And she will. And God help you didn't just create a monster, because most of the time, too much, don't meet this, don't meet that. When they actually now get to meet a guy, they don't know how to act. Since they don't want to act as if they've never met a guy, they just follow the crowd. Do things they're not meant to do. Indulge in some useless acts, smoking and all that. I don't know how smoking came in, but smoking crack with some guys and stuff. That's how peer pressure starts, because you were not allowed to experience it. You were delayed from experiencing what you should have experienced at a certain age. So now you're addicted. So parents, or whoever needs to hear this, whoever is training someone, whoever has been restricting someone of something, you're only making that person crave it more. You're only making that person crave it more, especially if at the end of the day they would still be faced with that particular thing. In the long run, you're going to make that person end up in a very bad situation. It's better you open up to them, let them experience this thing, guide them as they're experiencing it, correct them in the ways they are falling short. Everyone is happy. They learn what they need to learn. But restricting them, pushing them back, hiding them from men, taking away their phones, not buying them phones at a certain age, would only lead to delayed knowledge, far worse addiction levels, and lack of discipline. If you're doing this to any of your children, anybody you're guiding, watch it very closely. You probably shouldn't. Allow them experience it for themselves. Watch this video here. You'll learn one or two things, I promise. See you next one.